Driving it home with Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez.
From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
It's Wednesday, which means it's hump day, which means I better have a honey in the studio. That's all. That's everything you need to know. It is Wednesday, which means Ken Mejia-Beal in studio with me, the guest co-host.
Hello.
My hump day honey. Now, does it go together to say my hump day honey Midwest chair for the
Absolutely.
Victory Fund?
Absolutely. It goes together.
Excellent. You made a great post, I believe today, about folks running, several people who are running across the country. Oh, my goodness. I caught you off guard. You take a breath. Take a breath. You good? Okay.
I'm great. I just swallowed that peppermint that I did not mean to, which is a lesson. I should have eaten it before but no, we have spotlight candidates every month. So please go to victoryfund.org to check out our spotlight candidates. We have great candidates all over the country. So go to victoryfund.org, click on endorse candidates, and click on your state and do the drop down, and you can see from municipal level all the way up to who is being endorsed in every state.
And the endorsed candidates are members of the LGBTQ plus community?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And do you also have like a designation for allies, or that's just...
We only had one, and that was for President Joe Biden.
Okay.
And he actually came to our, we have an annual meeting in December, and he came in person and accepted his award, and it was very very sad though, because he gave such a great speech, and it's like, oh my God. I know. It was like hope. And then we all left and went to the restaurant, and at the rooftop you could see where President Dorito was trashing the East. I said what I said. And it was just very the juxtaposition of what could have been and versus what is.
Oh my God. I mean, we are in such a, I can't. Every time I think of like,
what could have been?
Well, no, yes, that too. It's mostly dealing with what is, but also seeming to not necessarily be joined by other individuals in our society of retaining the horrible things he has done for over not just a decade, but his entire life.
His entire life. Like, I think anyone who really wants to know the true heart and nature of Donald Trump should watch. Oh my God! About the Central Park Five.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
It's the Netflix show. What is it called?
Oh, I'll have to look that up. Hold on.
Are you looking or am I?
I will look. Go ahead.
But it is so deep, and to show you how horribly biased our judicial system is in this country. I had a lot of friends that were not Black folks that were like, you got to watch it. I said, I got to build myself up for this because I know it's about to tear me down. And it did. And a lot of my Black friends, we all had to like wait a month because it was like, this is about to be a lot. And it was. But Donald Trump was a part of the lynch mob that demonized these men that were innocent. And he put this horrible ad in the paper, and he made it his racist platform. And he's not stopped since the 80s.
And never acknowledged when they were exonerated? Never.
What
is it that When They See Us on
When
Netflix?
They See Us, thank you.
You're welcome.
It was great, and it's something else that people don't forget, people don't remember, is Donald Trump is a known liar. And back in the 80s, he pretended to be a man named John somebody, I can't think of the last name, and he would call all these radio stations and newspapers and say that he was Donald Trump's publicist, and Madonna wanted to date him, but he refused to. And I bring this up because their FIFA was July 19th, and there were reports that she was in his box, and her publicist was like, go back to the 80s, baby. That will never, ever happen. But Donald Trump is on record of being a liar. He's on record of being a racist. He's on record of being a homophobe. His manager was Roy Cohn, and as soon as he found out Roy Cohn was dying of AIDS, he abandoned him and ditched him. These are all documented things. And don't get me wrong, Roy was a horrible human being as well. But I digress. If you go back and look at Donald Trump's history, he has been a horrible human being.
Yeah.
Forever.
And this is my thing of like when people say things like history will tell or history will show, all those things.
Yeah, just go back.
It doesn't matter. Like history, we're living in what history should have shown us and nobody cares.
But that is because we live in a society of what's happening now. We live in a fast food society. We don't live in a society where folks like to kind of go back. Everything is so quick. And love to bring this up again. We also live in a sexist society where no matter how bad a man has behaved, it's still better than a woman.
I mean,
in a lot of people's opinion, not mine. And I think the GOP has done a great job of demonizing Hillary Clinton. They started demonizing her in, I believe, the 90s. And if you talk to folks, especially like Democrats, they'll go, "Oh, I don't like Hillary." And don't get me wrong. There are lots of folks that have reasons for not liking her. But there are people that are like, I don't really know. I just don't trust her.
Right. And
they can't name, if you can't name anything, because there are folks that can name very valid things, like the super predators comment. I get it. But I can name something. Like I can...
By the way, we are getting several listeners who have texted in that the Trump publicist's name that he used was John Barron.
John Barron, yes.
His name is his son, and then
his son's name is Barron. Yes. I was like, it's so thank
weird.
You, listeners.
Yes. Well,
they remember.
And the thing about what we're going through right now, and what I was mentioning, in regards to not having just even situational awareness, retaining what has happened in a month ago, 5 months. I mean, Signalgate with Pete Hegseth.
Yes.
Like if and we always talk about if Obama, if Biden, that shouldn't even matter.
No.
It happened.
It's
it shouldn't be any comparison
right now.
in real time.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's now comparing, a lot more people died during Vietnam or Iraq. You're like, so are these goals that we have when we say that 18 service members have been killed during this war with no off-ramp, with no explanation, and then saying because
this illegal war.
It's a legal war. And before, weren't they saying it wasn't even a war? They were trying to say it was a conflict.
Yeah, but
now
it's a war.
He even said it was a war today.
Well, I mean, this is what happens. We have a commander-in-chief that despises the working class.
Yes.
It has dementia. And also is just a raging sociopathic narcissist. This is the kind of behavior that follows.
And the enablers, because...
all the enablers.
All the narcissism...
Because the emperor is not wearing clothing.
No.
But everyone keeps telling him he is. Continue. I'm sorry.
Did you... No, don't be sorry. Did you see... I don't know what the woman... There's a woman who had to testify, and was it mass... there was someone yelling at her about, do you think a man can become a woman and all this stuff? And what's interesting is when people are forced to answer those questions, right? They're like, it's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. And they're not allowed to say, first of all, the woman kept saying, it has no reflection on the job that I do. Answering that question has nothing to do with what I, and forcing me into, and I was just thinking, I was trying to play a game out, if they say yes or if they say no, and then however way they answer, right? If they were to say, no, I don't believe a man can be a woman, whatever, right?
Right.
Or yes, I believe a man can be a woman.
You can't win.
No, there's no through that.
Because that is not a yes or no question.
It is not.
It's not a yes or no.
Well, because it's being asked by incredibly ignorant people.
Correct.
Who are doing it to be hateful and to have a got you moment.
Yes.
And these are unserious people.
And we have to, something we have to remember is when we're being goaded.
Yes.
And I appreciated the fact that she did not take the bait.
No.
Because so many they were goading her and she was like, I'm not doing this.
And apparently,
it's nothing to do with what
I don't know if it was like a branch of the Smithsonian. It was something in D.C. where they have displays of basically talking about puberty and talking about drag queen, but students get to go to or whatever. And it's like, I just, for the people who want to just shove their kids into a hole so they don't see the rest of the world and have no experiences.
Well, under Trump's FCC, I just read that he wants to put advisories on shows that contain LGBTQ characters. Now, what the advisory is just that there are LGBTQ characters, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because an advisory should be advising you of what is happening. Like, what are they doing? And don't get me wrong, I'm for if there's smoking or there's drinking or there's the nudity and I get it. Something is happening.
Yeah, they're to put LGBTQ
but
individuals in the same category.
Will and Grace.
Right.
I don't think that warrants an advisor. I don't think it does.
And I we've talked to Judge Jill Rose Quinn, who was the first transgender judge in this and the first elected
amazing person.
Yes, and we were talking about visibility, and
It's
Will and
important.
Grace is visibility, whether it's a caricature. I mean, everybody at some rate in a sitcom is a caricature of what an exaggerated person, right?
And
every single person.
And we also have to remember when you add these characters, it's introducing folks that wouldn't get to meet these people. That was the beauty of All in the Family and introducing the Jeffersons or introducing someone like Maude. Like, you might not know a person like this, but they exist in this world. And it is so important. That's why representation matters.
Yes.
Because there are folks, whether you like it or not, in Oklahoma, in Nebraska, in Idaho, that have nobody.
Yes.
And they can turn on the TV and find someone like them.
Yeah.
And that matters.
And I've traveled all over the country, from the 90s until, I was on the road sometimes 40 weekends out of the year.
Oh.
And so I was in Nebraska and South Dakota and North Dakota.
We are everywhere.
And that's my point. Is I remember being in Birmingham, Alabama, and someone talking to me about, having the LGBTQ community that kind of was underground in certain areas. And I remember meeting a transgender person in Erie, Pennsylvania. I mean, I remember people basically with wanting to move to Chicago, wanting to move to New York, so they could be around people and not feel self-conscious. Yeah.
Community.
My friend Mike Silver, who came to Chicago. He's a dancer and an improv performer. Actually, I should have him in sometime. He also works for a law firm. He has a PhD in physics and also works for a law firm for patents.
Don't have him here with me.
He's beautiful too.
I'll be
He's
here.
beautiful.
Never mind. I retract that statement.
But his safe space in Florida was the Pulse nightclub. So he knew that room. I had him on my show, and the night that I had him on my show in 2015, 2016?
It was 2016, I believe June of 2016.
Because it was during Trump's administration, so it wouldn't have been 15.
Yeah. It was before Trump was elected.
Was it?
It was right before, because I remember Hillary went to...
Right, it was a summer. It was a summer before.
It was a summer of, I think.
And so I had him on the show to talk about the nightclub and where that was his family. That was where he found safety, where he found joy. And while he was on my show, I had someone text us and threaten us because I had him on my show. And this is why. This is why.
Well, I will tell you, I live in Edgewater now, which is a part of the gayest zip code in the state per capita. And I'm very proud of that. My state rep is gay. My state senator is gay. My county representative will be gay. I love where I live, and it changed me. I lived for 13 years in the burbs, and it never felt like home. But now where I live, I'm at home. I'm very comfortable. I can be myself. If I'm with my partner, we can hold hands without people looking all kinds of weird ways. I don't stand out because I'm gay or because I'm black. And it feels different. And I cannot describe it to someone who has not experienced it. But when I lived in my old neighborhood, I could go weeks without seeing anybody like me. And I'm at home now. And the fact that there are so many people in this country that don't have a home breaks my heart. Yeah. Everyone deserves community. And if that's just turning on television for an hour, let it be. Who are you to ruin that for somebody?
I don't like seeing it.
Change the channel.
I don't know how your TV works.
Just turn it off.
We are hanging out. Same thing like with this show.
Like, I don't watch Fox and Friends.
I mean,
I turn
Dan
it off.
Schaefer, you listening? Stop watching Fox and Friends. We're in studio with Ken Mejia-Beal, my Hump Day honey. He guest co-hosts with me on Wednesdays. He has invited our guest that's coming on at 6 o'clock, Murri Briel.
Yeah, she is
Illinois State Representative.
firecracker
of District 76. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to have an interview with Sandra Delgado, who's the Sandra Delgado Experience is this weekend. It's her birthday weekend. You've got to go see the show. You can go to Collaboraction's website to purchase your tickets. And then coming up at the end of the show, we're going to talk to Mama Lancaster and talk about their Pride events coming up in Bloomington-Normal, Illinois this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. More after this on WCPT at 20, Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle. Hello to our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Substack's Monaco Brewing Company's page. And thank you to our sponsors, Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. Put in an order for the best single origin roasted to order coffee beans you'll ever have. It's so good. And they'll be at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market this weekend, which means I need to book Meryl for the show before Saturday. But go to their website to see what other markets they'll be at, including Edgewater and Skokie. Please go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. You can put in an order for a bean subscription. Go to Source Solar, go to source.solar, make an appointment with Peter Sorellis. Maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business. And if you missed our conversation earlier this week, you can go to heartlandsignal.com for the podcast and get all the information there. We also want to thank our friends at Monaco Brewing Company. That would be the Substack from where a lot of folks are watching. Go to monacobrewingcompany.com and put in an order for some of the best. I just had a can of the Fascist Tears last night, and they were delicious.
It is really good.
So good.
It's really good.
It's not one of those IPA. It's a West Coast IPA, so it's much smoother and it's really tasty. I highly recommend it. But they've also got a Gose now, which is a grapefruit, kind of a sour, salty sour. Abolish Ice is the name of that one, with a beautiful butterfly on that.
I'm here for it.
I love your shirt. Go to monacobrewingcompany.com and also find the marketplace and order some great products from companies that will never, ever contribute to MAGA. More after this with Ken Mejia-Beal, my Hump Day Honey.
Tonight on Democracy Now!
As Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth goes to the Senate seeking $67 billion more for the war on Iran, Forensic Architecture has uncovered new details about how the U.S. killed over 160 people, overwhelmingly children, in a strike on an Iranian elementary school the first day of the war. For months, President Trump has refused to take responsibility for the strike.
All those stories and more tonight at 11 on WCPT 820.
You know, one of the best parts of summer around here is Fair Week, and it's almost here. The 2026 McHenry County Fair returns to Woodstock August 4th through the 9th, and they've packed the week with something for everyone. Whether you're cheering on the action at the Next Level Bull Riding Rodeo, catching the horsepower at the tractor and truck pulls, watching the quad racing, or waiting for the demolition derby, there's never a dull moment. And when the grandstand lights go down, stick around for live performances from country favorite Alex Miller and the always entertaining Feudin' Hillbillies. Of course, it wouldn't be the fair without carnival rides, mouth-watering fair food, livestock exhibits, local vendors, and all those traditions you look forward to every summer. On Friday, August 7th, you can meet me, Patti Vasquez, from 5 to 7 p.m. as we broadcast live at the fair. So grab your family, your friends, and make some memories at the 2026 McHenry County Fair, August 4th through the 9th. Get your tickets and see the full schedule today at McHenryCountyFair.com.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Here's great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Monaco Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Monaco Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here with Ken Mejia-Beal, a guest co-hosting with me, my Hump Day Honey. I'm still circling what days I'm going to be on vacation. It looks like either the week before or the week after Labor Day weekend, Ken. So we'll have to lock those down.
I think I should steer the boat and have a guest co-host, and I can have my own hump day.
We'll go to, yeah, you have your own hump day. Every day you have your Hump Day Honeys.
I have a hump day honey every day.
Well, we gotta get Elliot back in because he hasn't been here. I haven't seen Elliot. I miss him dearly.
He is, I need some Elliot.
I need some Elliot too. I miss Elliot. He is, I had a dream about Orphans
Me too, honey. No.
that was
Hey,
a
Elliot.
weird way to put that hanging. I had a dream about Orphans of the Storm, which is where he works.
Yeah, okay.
So, because my dog that I had as a child we adopted her from Orphans of the Storm.
Very cool.
And so they
Doodle.
Schnoodle. She was half
Schnoodle.
Schnauzer, half Poodle.
Okay.
She was a sweet dog. But they've broken ground on their new facility. And so I think I'm having dreams because they're going to probably they're going to be tearing it down eventually where we saw her. So I've got to get out there and just to like
where is
it's in River Forest.
Okay.
River Woods. It's north. So I think it's River.
okay? Because River Forest and River Woods are two totally
That's
different
so
places.
very true. Which one? The one that's not towards Brookfield. The one that's toward Northbrook. So see, River Woods.
That'd be Riverwood.
River Woods.
Because River Forest is near Oak Park.
Yes, correct. So it's the other one.
Okay.
The other one. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Orphans of the Storm. I'll find it. But at any rate,
I'm sorry.
you're a dog person.
Yeah.
Yes. So I can't have dogs because Declan is severely allergic regardless of any sort of allergy control or type of dog hair. But there's a guy in New York, and it brings me to tears. He has a social media account where he goes and takes a dog out who is about to be euthanized or has been in the kennel for a while, right? And he takes them out for the best day ever, regardless of whatever is going to happen next, right? And so far, because he makes these incredible videos, like someone drove from Connecticut to New York to get the dog.
I couldn't. I would cry.
Ken, he has them he has a backpack, so they're all dogs that he can put on his back, and he goes on the train. I want to do this. Like if I could just do it once a week, even once a month.
I know.
I know. Like a senior, he had one dog that was like 9 years old, got it adopted. Like so far, I don't know of any sad outcome. Like everyone runs to the comments to make sure somebody's adopted this dog, because I can't have one. I would love to be able to be part of like getting dogs adopted. Like there was one at Orphans of the Storm that was like near the door. I don't even know if it's been adopted because I couldn't go back and look, but it had been there for a long time. And so I want to encourage folks to consider adopting, especially seniors.
Or fostering.
Yeah. Yes.
It is so, people give up on dogs, and dogs never give up on people.
I know.
And we don't deserve them. So I have an adoptee at home. She's a rescue. I love her, little Dottie Mae.
Dottie Mae.
Because A League of Their Own is my favorite movie.
That's
so
right,
she's
that's
named
right.
after my characters. But I can't imagine my life without Dottie Mae.
Oh.
I cannot. It is the purest form of love. It is the purest form of joy. If you can adopt a pet, do it.
I am fortunate to be a dog auntie. So I get to go visit and live vicariously through my friends.
You can visit me anytime. Dottie would love you.
I love that. Well, the thing is, like, one is in Los Angeles. I'll go to other cities to visit my dog nephew.
Come over to Edgewater.
I'll do that. You might see my doggy niece.
And then I'll take you to Sidetrack.
I need to go to Sidetracks. Ken Mejia-Beal is the Midwest chair for Victory Fund. We were talking earlier about helping folks get elected. And it does matter to help folks in other parts of the country. Arizona is going to be incredibly
huge, because we are all a collective.
Mm-hmm.
We have to keep saying that. What happens elsewhere can happen here.
Exactly. Well, we see how much money, I guess now, not Doge, because I think of Elon Musk, the Doge monster is now put with other billionaires $12 million into races in Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
not illegal.
It's not illegal.
But I hope that it continues to carry that taint as it did in Wisconsin.
We have to get big money out of. Yesterday,
Yes.
I did some phone banking for Corey Bush in Missouri.
Oh, nice.
I'll be doing some phone banking for Abdul Syed in Michigan this weekend.
Right.
I just think it's so important to get big dollars out of politics.
Well, and the thing about those races, right? And Cory Bush was knocked out by what they wanted to get rid of the more liberal, progressive.
Yes.
I don't know if Cory is a DSA or not.
I mean, it's fair to say, yeah.
Well, I mean,
but I don't think
it's
she's
for them to
declared
say,
it.
yeah.
But sure.
But I mean, like, and the sort of demonizing of the Democratic Socialists. Now, I will say this: I told Carlos Rosa, I told him years ago, this language is going to hurt us. I said this is going to, like, it just is. Because people are too dim.
Well, because people don't know the difference between socialism and communism, number one. Let's start there.
Yes.
But number two, democratic socialists don't believe in taking your private property and don't believe it. Like, it's not.
I know.
It's not about the redistribution of your private wealth. It's about the redistribution of public wealth.
But you know what happens in politics.
I know. Once you explain it, you're already losing. I get it.
Yeah. And that's what I was trying to explain to him. And he
Yeah.
said that young people get it. I'm like, well, at the time I was
Yeah,
only
but young
40.
people don't vote.
But I was also 43. And I'm like, dude, I'm not old. I'm going to be here for a long time. And I'm telling you, I'm of a generation, which is part of why I think Generation X was manipulated into believing all the lies of MAGA. Because
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
because we're vulnerable to the language. We were the last generation to put our heads under our desk thinking that would save us from a nuclear bomb, even though most of us knew, even at 6.
Oh, wow. You guys were a part of that generation?
Oh, yes.
When did the Cold War end? I sound like an idiot.
Well,
right now.
1989 would be with
Okay.
Reagan.
Got it. I was not a part of.
Am I wrong, folks? It's 1989.
That
with
sounds right.
The wall and take down this wall and Ryan White died same time. By the way,
got it.
Around the same time. For me, like that was my touchstone of the AIDS crisis. Was a young boy who was a hemophiliac and contracted AIDS by a blood transfusion, and that humanized. I will say, I because I grew up in a household that was half like anti-LGBT. We didn't have the language, but my dad was, and I think that it even humanized the plague, was what we were calling it at the time.
Well,
for him was a young white kid who could also have AIDS.
Yeah.
It could happen to anybody.
It wasn't just the bad people.
Right. And
and I'm using bunny ears. Please don't email me. I didn't mean it that way.
No,
you can't see me, but you don't know what I mean.
Exactly. And I think, but also it's like the Cold War, there was sort of this swirl. Like that was the whole, we didn't start the fight.
Yeah.
Gen X kind of felt like, okay, we got to this point, racism isn't so bad now. Look, we are the world. I mean, there was sort of this attitude of that, but we still have, I think, and by the way, Gen X, I should not speak for all of us, but my view of it is that, we were raised by people who were afraid of the Russians, which is still mind-boggling to me.
Because they voted for Trump.
Yes.
That's the crazy part.
But I guess they see communism as transferable to just the people you don't like. The people you're afraid of.
Oh, got it.
Do you know what I'm saying? So now you can use that as a label. And so socialism is sort of under that umbrella of language that they don't quite understand. And it just sounds like they're the bad people.
This is why education is important.
I mean, I'm sure I'm getting a lot of corrections in my texts. Let's see.
And just for the record, I am not a member of DSA. However, I have voted for members of DSA and I've helped members of DSA win. I don't have a problem with what they're doing and I support them. But as you said, once you get that label, it's like then you're always explaining why you're in the room.
Exactly.
And especially there's a lot of, especially the moderates that don't get DSA and they're like, well, why don't you start your own party? And it's like, do you really want us to start their thing? Because then you're going to yell at us for splitting the vote. So what do you Let's
open up the phone lines if we can, Lady B. 773-763-9278. That's 773-763-9278. And by the way, folks, you know that I am perfectly comfortable if I'm wrong about any of this. I may be wrong. We'll continue our conversation with Ken Mejia-Beal. He is our Hump Day Honey and the Midwest chair of the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org and support the work that they do. More in a moment on WCPT, KKNW, Facebook, YouTube, and Substack with Monaco Brewing Company.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low temperature of 63 degrees and north winds at 5 to 10. Thursday, lots of sunshine with a high temperature of 77 degrees and southwest winds at 5 to 10. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature of 82. Saturday, sunny with a high temperature of 86 degrees. Sunday, slight chance of thunderstorms and a high temperature around 91 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 72.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter. Stephanie Miller.
I get to say my favorite sentence in the entire world. Here comes Kathy Griffin, hero of democracy. Hello.
Oh,
we going to do this? Because I know we're both going to want to talk at the same time because it's a love fest. I am so in love with you. You are so important and wonderful and funny and brilliant, and you are who I aspire to be. When I grow up, I want to be you.
No, you.
Stephanie Miller, weekday mornings 8 to 11 on WCPT 820.
Summer's about to burst with fun at the 97th Annual Lake County Fair, Wednesday, July 29th through Sunday, August 2nd. Experience 5 unforgettable days packed with thrilling rides, mouth-watering fair food, adorable farm animals, incredible 4-H, and the excitement of the Lake County Queen Pageant. Plus, enjoy 12 free daily shows and attractions included with your admission. Cheer on the pig races, watch world-class lumberjacks and magic show, meet amazing canine performers, and explore interactive exhibits. Even more excitement with our grandstand events, including the Demolition Derby, motocross, monster truck throwdown, and pro bull riding. Whether you're making family memories, chasing thrills, or just coming for the funnel cake, there's something for everyone at the Lake County Fair. The fun pops off Wednesday, July 29th and runs through August 2nd at the Lake County Fairgrounds in Grays Lake. Buy your tickets today at lcfair.com. The Lake County Fair, where summer is bursting with fun.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
Patti Vasquez is taking your calls now.
All right, let's hit it.
At 773-763-9278.
I got a lot to say.
It's Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 Seattle. Hello to our friends tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company Substack, where this Saturday you will see our featured columnist, Ken Mejia-Beal, with his latest column.
And my first column for Minocqua, and I just thought of something. If I can tell people really quick,
yes.
If you are, I don't know yet because I've not seen the episode, but I might be on Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, airing next week. I was selected to. I went to the restaurant. I was in the before portion, and they're showing the restaurant. It was in Blue Island. So check out Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares. You might get to see me talk about grits.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
Did you know that? Like, was it
absolutely?
Open?
I was aware. Yeah. I was aware. They said they wanted people to come into this restaurant.
Who were grits experts?
Well, no, to try the food before Gordon made it over. And
so you didn't get to taste the after?
No. So I don't want to say their name on the air because I don't know if they fixed it, but it was a horrible experience. But check out Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares next week.
I used to watch him all the time. And I mean, just some things you grow up. I like just, kind of
I love Gordon Ramsay is the reason if I go to a restaurant that's more than 2 pages, the menu's more than I leave.
If there's pictures, he has a whole thing about there's pictures.
I'm okay with
pictures. He doesn't like pictures on the menu,
But if it's like a book, it's like, nope, nothing's good, I'm out.
I think it stressed me out because I used to work in so many restaurants and watching him, right? And I would watch him and be like, oh, every single restaurant I worked for was crap.
Oh, same.
I mean, it just was
same.
bad.
I was a bartender.
Same. Let's get to. I won't mention any of the restaurants. There was one I left. I saw something crawl, and I was like, "Nope, I'm good." I was just telling Nico's here how I used to leave my jobs in the middle of the day because jobs you could I could just apply for another job.
I worked at a restaurant, and I walked into the walk-in, and I saw a tail, and I was like, "I'm out."
I'm done.
Got it.
Yep. Let's get to Jim in Chicago.
Hey,
Hi,
Jim.
my friend. What's on your mind?
Hi, Ken. We finally got a decent day. Hi, Patty.
So gorgeous out.
Great.
Yeah. We finally got a decent day. The Tate brothers, why we interfered in Romania to extricate the Tate brothers who are accused of rape, child pornography, and human trafficking. Why we got involved in that is it's just a question that just lingers out there. It took the English to finally bring them to justice. And the other thing is they had a Frenchman today, I don't know if it's a suicide or what, but he was involved with Epstein, ran a French modeling agency. You can imagine how he coerced these poor people who, are probably broke and, turned them over to these savages. And it's just insane. But I was barred from a casino in Bucharest in 2006. I didn't get any help from anybody.
I would have helped you.
That sounds like quite the story there.
I was beyond help there, Kate. Anyway, and then the other thing, I was talking to a couple of elderly people. They cut their food stamp allotment down to $26. They show me the paperwork. These people are approaching 80 years old.
Yeah.
The paperwork is insane. I mean, a stack of paperwork. You got to prove that you're a citizen. You've got to prove your last 15 months on the planet. What they've done, and not only that, but this is costing. I think it's Save a lot. There's a lot of grocery stores closing because 25% of their income came from the
SNAP benefits.
SNAP benefits.
Yep.
You had a guy on yesterday. Worked for Biden.
Yep. The policy, policy advisor. Yeah, he was saying how much it's going to affect everybody.
Yeah, look at the nightmare we're in. This is an absolute nightmare. I mean, and these people, what do they want? I've seen people actually have to go out and get a job. In fact, I don't know, if things keep up the way they do, I may have to hit the pavement myself here. My point is, what is this? What's going on here? In the meantime, Trump is making billions.
Yeah.
We're spending billions on a war that he started. He started the goofy war. And, I mean, you're spending billions on it, and Hegseth is in there, he wants more billions and more billions. In the meantime, look at just take the student loan thing. Why wouldn't they forgive student loans? What is that, just to be a psycho? Or what is it? What do the Republicans do? What do they think? Everybody's getting on the mooch? I mean, that's been their calling card for since the 20s. Everybody's on the mooch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody's mooching. By the way,
I know.
But they're. I mean, for Pete's sake, look at the tax breaks they're getting. Look at He said that's what it's all about. The 1% they're getting all the dough.
Yep.
I agree, Jim. I got to run to the next phone call. Thanks so
Jim.
much. Thank you so much. Let's get to Paul in Seattle. Hey, Paul, what's on your mind, my friend?
Paul.
Hey. Oh,
you fell out there. We'll try again in a moment. I swear to God, Paul fell out.
Yeah.
Look at the Jim and Lake Zurich. Hey, Jim, what's on your mind, my friend?
Yeah, hi, Patty. Nice talking to you. We met at some rallies and so forth. So I appreciate what you do.
Thank
you.
I
just wanted to talk about labels, and I'm not quite sure why the maggots run around calling people socialist, communist when they're the fascists, right?
Yep.
And I have a question for all the Republican folks that actually, and I don't even call them Republicans, they're Republicans. Give me one thing the Republicans have actually done since Eisenhower to help the middle class. Just give me one thing. And you hear silence.
Yeah, I would imagine.
They have nothing. They haven't done anything for us, middle class and below, right?
Yep.
Anything. You can't name one freaking thing. Bottom line is people want democratic socialism, right? Everybody keeps on saying, the far left. Please explain to me, what do they mean by far left? For universal health care?
Yep, that's what they mean.
Universal health. Yeah, because
so that's such a bad thing?
If it wasn't just moderate Democrats in for the last number of decades, we would have had universal health care.
Democratic moderates. We don't need any moderates. Enough with these guys. They're in the middle of the road. We don't need to go middle of the road.
Nope.
When the Republicans vote, they vote no matter what.
Yep.
We've been playing, like nice guy. You can't play nice with these people.
I agree.
Enough is enough.
Agreed.
100%.
We need to take control of this country.
Yes.
Right? Everybody needs to wake up.
Wake up.
I agree. 100%.
I love your passion, Jim.
So please, if anybody's out there that's a Republican or a conservative or a moderate, please tell me one thing that they've done since Eisenhower.
Yep.
One thing.
I don't think they can.
They can't.
No. Nope. And you know what? The text line is open. I mean, if they want to call, my guess is they won't, or else they think that I screen. I mean, if you're going to be rude to Lady B, that's how you don't get on the air. But I'm just saying, thanks, Jim.
Thanks,
Thank you
Jim.
for your
Call more
passion.
often.
And please call more often. He does. Thank you, Jim. Take care. I'm so sorry. I got to get to the break because we have an interview with actress Sandra Delgado, who has her performance this weekend of the Sandra Delgado experience at the Collaboraction Theater in Humboldt Park. Stay tuned for that conversation. We'll be back after this. And if it sounds like Ken's being very quiet, it's because I recorded the interview and I'm not just sitting here ignoring him. More after this on WCPT, KKNW 1150, and all of our friends watching digitally. Thank you.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
Welcome back to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our drive home here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, and KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. And hello to all of our friends tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, and now Substack with Monaco Brewing Company. And please check out our podcast, all available at heartlandsignal.com. I am so excited to introduce our next guest, who is a legend here in Chicago. And if those of you who come through or have the opportunity to see her where you are, please do. Sandra Delgado, created and starred in La Habana, Madrid, the love letter to Chicago that packed houses at Steppenwolf and the Goodman. She sits on the board of Chicago Public Library. Carrie James Marshall painted her face onto the side of the Cultural Center. And this weekend, she brings something more personal. The Sandra Delgado experience, part spiritual cabaret, part dance party, all heart, cumbias, boleros, storytelling, 80 seats only, folks. And right here in Chicago's very own Humboldt Park. So please, folks, welcome Sandra Delgado. Hello, Sandra. It is your birthday week. By the way, happy birthday. So today's the day? Is your birthday?
Today is my birthday, and it always feels like such an affirmation from the universe to be in the middle of a project that I believe in, getting to do what I love, which is creating joyful spaces of connection for people that are filled with music and joy, because we really need that right now.
No
so
kidding.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Need a little balance there. And it's also on the heels of Colombian Independence Day, which was on Monday. And a lot of the Sandra Delgado experience is definitely inspired by Colombian culture, my Colombian Chicago-ness, as I say.
Now, did you grow up in Chicago?
I did. So I was born and raised in Chicago. My parents came here in 1965. And they just celebrated their 60th wedding anniversary. They literally my parents got married in a very strange way. My father was already here in Chicago. And so on their wedding day, they had the full-on Catholic wedding. My mom is in Medellin. She walks down the aisle and she says her vows to my dad's cousin, who was a stand-in for my dad, because my dad was already here in Chicago and he was getting married at the same time at Mount Carmel Church on Belmont, just west of Broadway. And then my mom, the very next day, got on a plane and came to Chicago. So that'll be 61 years this August.
Wow. What an incredible story. I love that so much. And so in this performance, the Sandra Delgado experience, you lean into the Colombian music. And so, what an emotional time. Your parents' 61st anniversary, your birthday, the Colombian Independence Day. What is it like to just embrace all of that energy running into this weekend as you rehearse and prepare for these performances?
Yeah, and and I also have to add how well Colombia did in the World Cup. I mean, I know it was like devastating when they lost, but I just feel like the last month has just been like Colombia, 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 which makes me like so happy because honestly, growing up in the 80s, when you would say Colombia, like honestly, like every single time it would be stuff along the lines of like, do you know Pablo Escobar?
Yep.
Can your father get me drugs? I mean, it was kind of traumatizing. So this time around to just see people who are not Colombian, like just so like into our country and getting to know, our music and our culture has been so beautiful. And, the show really is an expression of my bilingual and bicultural experience. Like for so long, like there's this saying in Spanish, ni de aquí, ni de allá, which means, I'm not from here, I'm not from there, that I think a lot of people uh, feel, whether they're like immigrants or first or second generation, like sometimes like feeling, but I'm embracing like soy de aquí y soy de allá. I am from here and I am from there, and so this show really shows these two sides of me. Like there is Colombian music, but then I also have like, I'm also like a Gen Xer, child of the 80s, and so I have like some reimagined English language classics, for all my 80s baddies out there to be satisfied, because I love singing that kind of music too.
And you mentioned, when you were growing up that people had jokes about Colombia and, these sort of stereotypes. At home, was your house filled with music? Was this something that your parents raised you surrounded by the sounds of their culture?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. And as someone, I've never lived in Colombia. I wasn't born in Colombia. So the way that I feel Colombian, first and foremost, is definitely through our music, followed, I mean, it might be like the music and the food, and my house, maybe it was Chicago once we walked outside those doors, but inside the house, it was Colombia. And I do come from a really musical family. From the time I was 5 years old, I was in a Colombian folkloric dance troupe and a choir with my parents. And so for me, the arts, even though I didn't like think about it as like, this is art, but for me, artistic expression has always been synonymous with family and synonymous with community. And so I think, that has subconsciously fed the kind of work that I do and the kind of experiences that I want to create and share with an audience. I mean, there's always music around the house. My mom was always singing. We were always singing together at parties. My aunt Inez would be on the piano, and I grew up listening to my mom and her sisters, my tias, singing in beautiful harmonies together. And now I sing around the house, so my daughter sings around the house, and it's so beautiful to like see that that music, the love of music, just passed down generation to generation.
I'm so impressed and always dazzled with the work that you do, and the wonderful world that I actually had the tremendous joy to celebrate in your space and Collaboraction when we developed a musical that we're working on. Tell us what folks can expect this weekend coming for the Sandra Delgado experience.
Yeah, so the show is about loving yourself and loving each other. The show originally, when I first started doing it, I think it was 4 years ago, was the debut. It really started out as a kind of a Colombian folkloric music preservation project. I think, there are Colombians in the United States, I always say, and so the Colombian history is U.S. history. Latine history, Latine Chicago history is all U.S. history. And so I wanted to introduce this music that I've been singing since I was a little kid to a new audience, and also for people that do know it, to find joy in that. And then I was like interspersing like little like personal stories. Some of it is music history. I love talking about the history of music and music as a metaphor for connection, because music really doesn't have any borders. And but over time, as I started doing it and as I started experimenting with the stories, I really have found kind of a new purpose for this project, which is it's a project about self-love, and it's a project about empowerment, and it's a project about loving yourself first so you can really love other people. And so over the course of the night, there's amazing music. This band is outrageous. I have to talk about the band.
Yes,
first.
please.
Yeah, so first I have my music director and bassist and longtime collaborator, Roberto Carpaccio Marin. A lot of people might know Carpaccio from his band that just celebrated 40 years in Chicago. They're a Colombian salsa band, Carpaccio y su Super Combo. And joining him is his wife, Carol McPherson, who is just a baddie trombone player. They both have been longtime collaborators of mine, have been with me since La Habana Madrid, which is celebrating its 10-year anniversary next year. I can't believe it. Wow. Janet Kramer. I've got two amazing musicians on percussion and drums. Janet Kramer on the drums, and Coco Ulysses, who is like Chicago music royalty and also does theater from time to time. She's doing percussion. Then I have Manasseh Rivera, who has his own band. He's from Venezuela, and he has a band called the Cepillao Band, and he's on piano. And then Richard Peña, who is a Puerto Rican guitarist, flew in from the PR to come play with us this weekend. We worked with him a couple years ago, and he had a great time. And I was like, hey, do you happen to be in Chicago? And he was like, I'm not, but I'll come out for this. This is a lot of fun. So we had our first rehearsal last night, and musicians are magic. I'm just in awe that I just give them like these pieces of paper with little dots and lines, and then they like make magic with them. So the audience can expect some amazing music, cumbias, boleros, a little salsa, some reimagined English language classics like maybe some Pat Benatar, maybe some Patti Smith, yes, nice. with a little twist to it. And then interwoven within these songs are I do share some personal stories that are kind of springboards for the audience to reflect upon their own lives and maybe share a little bit with the people around them to kind of form that connection. And what's really special about this one, I've been doing this show in very big venues, like the Epiphany Center for the Arts, Joe's on Weed Street. These are bigger venues, and in New York, bigger venues. I'm bringing the show home to my artistic home, Collaboraction, in our new space in Humboldt Park, and it's an intimate space, and it's even more intimate than usual because we've added a little table seating, so it's really only about 80 seats per night. So I'm crafting a special night that really speaks to this intimate environment that we're in. I'm really excited to see how this show works in this setting.
Oh, how fantastic. Okay, I'm making every effort I can to get there, and hopefully there'll still be tickets. Let folks know there are only 80 tickets a night, as you mentioned. Tell them why they shouldn't wait and where they should go to get tickets.
Well, you shouldn't wait because the tickets are going fast. We have just a few seats left for Saturday. And we do have a little bit on Friday, and we have some on Sunday. Okay. Go to collaboraction.org. That's like collaboration, but it's action. Collaboraction.org. We're a nonprofit performing arts. We're a theater company in Humboldt Park, Kimball Arts Center, Kimball and the 606.
It's such a great theater, you guys. And I'm going on the website right now to get tickets because I don't want to miss it.
It's so fun. Like, honestly, the goal is for you to walk out feeling better than when you walked in. And I know you will. It's just a beautiful time. It's a great friends night out. It's a great date night. It's actually also something special to share with your family if you want to bring your mom or your kids. Like, it's just a joyous, uplifting, music-filled time.
All right. I'm going to get tickets for me and my mom. I'm buying them right now. All right.
Okay,
7 o'clock. So it's 7:30 Friday, 7:30 Saturday, and 7 o'clock Sunday. I'm putting that right there. Thank you so much, Sandra, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
I know. I love that you're working, celebrating, and just immersing yourself in such a wonderful project. And I congratulate you again, my friend. Always great to talk to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
See everybody at Collaboraction this weekend. Take care. Bye. More after this on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW, KTNF, and KKNW.
Take summer to the next level with the stunning performance of a Porsche. Find the perfect model for you at the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park. Browse and test drive our extensive selection, like the 2026 Porsche Cayenne. Right now, lease the 2026 Cayenne for just $1149 a month for 39 months. Discover performance like no other when you visit the Porsche Exchange in Highland Park or PorscheExchange.com.
$10,859 to assign for qualified buyers. Excludes tax, title, license, and dealer fee. No security deposit required. See dealer for details. Offer ends 7/31/26.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying, where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes, so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. Tropical storm Bertha's made landfall on the southern tip of Louisiana. Ed Donahue has details.
State climatologist Jay Grimes says Bertha reached land in an area east of New Orleans.
The good news here is that the shear, the dry air continue to do their work. Bertha will weaken steadily as it moves inland. The dry air, that wind shear, and the interaction with land is going to take most of the punch out of the storm.
The storm has closed beaches from the Florida Panhandle to Mississippi. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry called the forecast encouraging, but
even a weaker storm can produce dangerous rainfall, localized flooding, and hazardous travel conditions.
Forecasters say the main threat from Bertha is expected to be damaging winds and coastal storm surge. I'm Ed Donahue.
The House has adopted a Republican-only $95 billion budget proposal in a long-shot effort to fund the Iran war and other White House priorities. Meanwhile, Sagar Magani reports.
The president says every time Tehran shoots at a ship in the Strait of Hormuz, Washington will destroy an Iranian bridge or power plant.
They're going to pay a big price.
He spoke as the unpopular war spirals, with both sides exchanging fire. He was heading to Dover Air Force Base, where the remains of 4 American troops killed in the Middle East were returning to their families.
All I'm going to say is, we love you, we love your child, and that's what they are to them. They're their children.
18 U.S. service members have been killed since the war started nearly 5 months ago. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The latest strikes by the U.S. and Iran sent oil prices higher again. Brent crude settled above $94 per barrel, while U.S. gasoline prices jumped another 4 cents to an average $4.06 per gallon, according to AAA. This is AP News. The Ebola outbreak in eastern Congo's now killed more than 1,000 people. Hai Panjwani has the latest.
It's a grim toll in what's already been declared the fastest Ebola outbreak in history. The latest update from Congo's Ministry of Health shows that over 2,400 cases have been recorded. Trish Newport is the emergency program manager for MSF.
There are places where you have one community death in a new area, and in a few days you have 17 new cases. It's such a great example of how infectious anyone is that stays in the community as soon as they have symptoms.
The outbreak declared on May 15th is unlike most previous Ebola outbreaks because the virus responsible for it has no approved vaccines or treatments.
The people arrive very, very late, either because it takes a long time for them to get to where we are, or because it took a long time for them to be diagnosed actual illness. And so this is challenging for our teams.
I'm Haya Panjwani.
The latest at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and streaming worldwide at WCPT820.com. We are Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter. Now, your WCPT 820 weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low temperature of 63 degrees and north winds at 5 to 10. Thursday, lots of sunshine with a high temperature of 77 degrees and southwest winds at 5 to 10. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature of 82. Saturday, sunny with a high temperature of 86 degrees. Sunday, slight chance of thunderstorms and a high temperature around 91 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 72.
Latinos have been here always, before, during, and after the founding of the United States. We are small business owners rising before dawn to power the economy. Hands that pick, manage, and prepare the food that nourishes America. Builders of our homes, our cities, our roads, our communities. Workers who labor daily to strengthen the very fabric of our nation. We are caregivers, teachers, doctors, engineers, neighbors, families raising the next generation. Latinos contribute over $4 trillion to America's GDP bringing promise, innovation, and vitality to every corner of the U.S. We are the backbone, an indelible part of the American story. We are America. America is us. Learn more by going to americaisus.org and discover how Latinos have shaped America's journey and continue to forge its future.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
With Patti Vasquez, Patti Vasquez. From global conflicts to greenhouse gases, the folks refusing to wear masks says, and politicians getting caught grabbing ass says, she's driving it home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us. We continue our conversation here on Driving It Home with me, Patti Vasquez, coming to you from Chicago on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal. And we are so thrilled to welcome our friends listening on KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, KKNW 1150 in Seattle. Of course, all of our friends who are tuning in on Facebook and YouTube and perhaps on Substack, where we are now shared by Minocqua Brewing Company. So thrilled to have our friends tuning in wherever you might be. And maybe you're listening to a podcast, which are all available at heartlandsignal.com, where you can also subscribe to our weekly newsletter and learn more about our Heartland Signal newsroom, catching the stories that shape our democracy. Joining me in studio is Ken Mejia-Beal. He is the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund.
Yay, lots of states.
Lots of states going on, and a lot of races going on. Yeah. And we encourage you to go to victoryfund.org to find out about the great work that they do there, to make sure that we are electing people who represent everyone justly, fairly, proudly.
And all the leagues.
All the leagues. Thank you as well to our sponsors. Of course, we want to thank our friends at Minocqua Brewing Company. Kirk Bangstead, our fearless leader, will be in the studio with me tomorrow. He was trying to get here today to join us on the air, but he is en route, and we will have him on the air tomorrow. You can go to minocquabrewingcompany.com and put in an order for a can of Fascist Tears, which is my new favorite beer. It is a West Coast IPA. There's also a wonderful goes that's called Abolish Ice. It's slightly salty, so it can melt that ice. Abolish Ice right there. And if you're watching it on the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Substack, you can see Ken's fantastic shirt. Abolish
Ice. Get rid of it.
The old slushy images. We also want to thank our friends at Pride Coffee Roasters. Go to Pride Coffee Roasters and put in an order for the best single origin roasted to order coffee beans you'll ever have. Every single cup of coffee tastes like a love letter in a mug. Please go to pridecoffeeroasters.com. They also have some great swag, like their t-shirts and totes and stickers that say, "Sounds gay, I'm in." I love my Pride Coffee Roasters. They'll be at the Jefferson Park Sunday Market this Sunday, where I'll be volunteering from 9:30 to 1:30. Merrill, I promise. I'll try to get there by 9:30. Also want to thank our friends at Source Solar. Go to source.solar, make an appointment. Peter Sorellis. And maybe it's time to get solar panels on your house or business, which we'll talk a little bit maybe about renewable energy with our next guest. Ken invited our next guest, and I didn't. You know, it's so funny. We were talking about last names and on the air, and I was saying that I tried to take a guess, and we both said that, and then I didn't practice our guest's name. They are the state representative for the 76th district in our House. In Springfield. Yeah. That's the Illinois Valley, LaSalle, DeKalb, Bureau, rural Illinois, and real Illinois, by the way. This is the part of the state the national conversation forgets exists until somebody needs a backdrop for a photo. Joining us on the air right now is our the state representative, Amy Murri Briel. Oh my God, I did not get any of that right, did I?
You did. It was pretty good. I got to say, I'm impressed. Amy Murri Briel. Very close.
Very close.
Be confident. Briel. Yeah.
I want to thank you.
And I go by Murri. Please call me Murri.
Murri. I know it's on the list, but I also what the research shows. Murri. So I want to learn about you. Ken has said some incredible things, including dance moves, but which I'll have to witness at some point.
We were at the Speakers Pride event, and we've met before a couple of times. But
yes.
We were at the event, and those dance moves, I said, we need to go out. I need to take you out dancing.
I love that. My family laughs at me about dancing. My husband and my sons, if you recall Seinfeld, the Elaine dance, Elaine Bennis, where she does the thumbs in the air, and it's really terrible. They tease me that I'm a terrible dancer. So I was so excited. I went home and said, Ken said I don't suck at dancing, you brats.
No,
so,
it was joy. I felt joy. It was like unbridled joy.
Yes, exactly.
I would dance with you any day of the week.
Who judges people for dancing? It's none of your business how somebody else
Dance
dances.
like no one's watching.
I do, and they are watching. They are watching.
Who cares?
Now, tell us a little bit about where you grew up, my friend.
I was born and raised in Ottawa, Illinois, which is in Lacell County.
Yeah.
My mom is a farm family. Her family farm our family farm's been in the family for 200 years. And her nephew now runs the farm, and his sons are also very active in the farm. And when he retires, I'm sure want to take over one day. And by a union electrician down at Libby Owens Ford. So
wow,
very rural, very blue collar, and yet always very committed to the environment, very committed to the community, and anything that my parents felt was an injustice. We were always working toward making things better. So that's sort of where I got my start. Went to ISU, competed in speech, went off to Chicago, met my husband. We moved to Las Vegas and then back to Chicago, got married, 3 kids.
I love that.
I know, crazy, right? A company that I had worked for had given me an opportunity to open a branch in Las Vegas or Denver. And believe me, that was a big mistake. Like, no offense.
I don't blame
for
you.
Nevada fans.
Vegas should not exist, is all I'm saying.
It should only exist for weekends. And it should just go back.
Yeah.
Okay, so several things about Las Vegas. This was before it had been built up to actually be a town. If you wanted to go to a movie, you had to go through a casino to get to a movie theater.
Oh my God.
This was back in like the dot bomb era of the early 2000s, right? Like it was a different time there too. But years later, we went back for a friend's wedding, and we came home with a souvenir. So we'd had 2 sons that were 6 and 4. And surprise, I wanted to name him Harry instead of Henry for Harry Houdini. But I wondered if we could sue the tourism board, because the slogan, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, does not always stay in Vegas. Sometimes it comes home with you.
Sure does.
And that is my youngest son. That is what we say about him.
I love that. And so when you came back to your community that you'd grown up in?
Yeah, we moved back
to Chicago.
To the Chicago, to actually Joliet area.
Got it.
And we were waiting for my parents to sell their home, because my dad built this home with his hands, except for the brickwork, because Mom was sure he would screw that up. So they had a mason do the brickwork. There's actually a picture of me stapled in a pack and play to the roof while he and my brother roofed.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we wanted this home and our land, which was also family land. And the time was right that we were able to move back. But it couldn't have worked out before, because there was really no medical care here, no assistance for kids who had issues.
Right.
I'm ADHD, so I'm autistic with ADHD. My husband has, I don't know what that is or why it's doing that. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
My husband is ADHD, and all 3 of my kids are ADHD. So it's kind of a chaotic, fun world that we live in.
Yeah.
And so we were able to move back, though, when they were stable enough and didn't need to drive an hour to get a half an hour's worth of therapy to drive an hour back. When you have a kid who can't sit still, that's pointless, right?
Yeah.
So we still don't have medical care down here. Let me toss that out. But at least we don't need it, and they're all old enough to drive themselves somewhere where there is medical care. So
wow,
and we've loved it ever since.
And for folks who think about like a representative who is serving in an area like yours, you mentioned before we got on the air that you are a blue dot in a sea of red. Tell us a little bit, because this seat was also previously held by your former boss. You were chief of staff, is that right, for the previous state rep? Okay, so what was the path for that to become a blue dot and then to continue to win as a Democrat?
Well, the seat had been traditionally held by Democrats, but then along came the Tea Party. And when the Tea Party came in and the Koch brothers dumped a ton of money into the area, it turned it to be much more red with that ideology. They bought out the radio stations, they pushed the narratives, and that's how we ended up with a Republican federal representative and a Republican state representative. Now, that representative was short-lived. After the first term, he had upset labor and was voting against them. And so the combination of labor being mad and the shift, Lance was able to get the seat. So then in 2022, there was a redistrict. And in the redistricting, it moved more north, the district did, as opposed to being south. And that's given us the delight of having DeKalb in our district. And there are so many businesses. People make this, they misjudge. They're like, how can DeKalb and the Lacey Valley have anything in common? And I'm like, they have a lot more in common than you think.
Right.
The number one industry here in the Lacey County is agriculture, followed by tourism. A lot of our companies work in DeKalb, and here, a lot of our nonprofits share multiple county areas. So there's so much crossover, and people don't realize it, even if it's an hour away.
And what I will say, I have a family friend that is from Ottawa, the Aubreys, and they've been there forever. And when I go to Ottawa, what I notice is it's very rural, but those are like real salt of the earth people. I love going to Ottawa. The folks there are just so warm and so open and willing to have conversations and communicate. So I think the misconception of rural Illinois and rural parts of America, you really have to go to these places because some of the greatest, most honest people, hardworking folks I've ever met are in Ottawa.
And some of the most intelligent.
Yes, very.
That's something I think that a political apparatus takes for granted, that, you know, in so many areas, more is better, right? Swamp, more notice, more. But in places like this where information is scarce, actual real news is we're in a media vacuum, right? We don't pick up any of the major networks, right? You know, so it's tough for a lot of rural areas. And I think that when I'm so sorry. I absolutely, train of track went off the trail.
Media, rural areas, getting your news and where you get your news, and there's a vacuum.
Yes, there's a massive vacuum. That's why radio is so important. I don't think people understand the impact and the value out here of radio and also of actual information. So when you're talking about mailers for the state office, I make sure they're informative. When I do walk pieces for the state office, I make sure that they actually talk about bills that I've done and what I'm standing for and what I'm working on. And people don't mind receiving information like that. But the basic BS, people will throw away and pay no attention to. And we think that'll attract rural voters, but it doesn't, because they thrive on information. They're extremely smart. They seek it out. And if you provide that to them logically and honestly, they will appreciate that, and you will gain their support.
I feel like we need a WCPT billboard in Ottawa. We did the Ottawa Pride.
Let's do it.
We did the Ottawa Pride event, and that was so much fun hanging out with Dylan and all the folks there. It was a blast. Yeah,
we love Ottawa Pride every year. They're fantastic. And the thing about Ottawa is it's rural. I mean, there's really no place I've ever been that you can be in a fan boat on the river, crossbow shooting Asian carp like they do in Georgia, and then 20 minutes later be in a winery where the grapes are grown and the wine has come in second only to the Champagne region of France. It's a great place.
That's pretty cool.
There are so many things to do and see here.
We are talking to state representative for the 76th district here in Illinois, and she's in the Illinois Valley, LaSalle, DeKalb, Bureau, rural Illinois. That's again 76th district. We're talking to Murri Briel.
Yep, you got it.
Got that time. Murri Briel. We're going to take a break here because I do want to talk about, come back to something you were discussing about the resources for families who have an individual they care for with any type of disability. Because one of the reasons I got involved and ran for office in 2020 for state rep was because there wasn't anybody in those chambers who has it. So my child is severely disabled. He's only the 53rd person in the world that's been diagnosed with Primrose, and he will never live independently. And so one of the things I ran on, parents like me often think I can't die first because we know that his care will rely on those who are compensated and who are invested in that role in our lives. So in the absence of living forever, I ran for office. And so it's good to know that there are people who are fighting for the disability resources that we need to protect, in particular under federal administration like this. We'll continue our conversation with the state rep when we come back on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. And we have in studio with us the Midwest chair for the Victory Fund, Ken Mejia-Beal. He's my hump day honey, just in case you're wondering about his official title. Just saying. Right back.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
WCPT replay.
On the line with us is none other than Cliff Cash.
You've got to be loud. You've got to show up. You got to stand up. You got to speak up. And I get if you live in a red area or a red neighborhood or you have really red friends or family, it doesn't matter. Fascists feed on fear. If you ever wondered what you might have done during the Civil Rights Movement or during Nazi Germany or during any other pivotal time in history, you don't have to wonder, because what you would have done is what you're doing now. And if you're being fearful and quiet, then you're part of the problem, and you would have been in those historic moments as well. So put a sign in your yard, post on social media, and take these people to task. And all you have to do is learn the truth, because they're going around screaming lies, and only about half of us are out here even whispering the truth.
Keep listening to WCPT 820, because facts matter.
Behind every meal are the efforts of our farmers and farm workers, whose work feeds our families and powers our communities. For more than 30 years, AgSafe has supported this industry with the knowledge and resources needed to keep workers safe and thriving. We partner with agricultural employers to strengthen safety practices and provide hands-on training. Safety isn't paperwork. It's people, community, and peace of mind. Learn more about our work at agsafe.org. Sponsored by agsafe.org.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
If you're listening to this station right now, you've definitely heard my voice before. Hi, I'm Hawk.
And I'm Pete. And we're with Source Solar, your local source for solar. Source Solar is Chicagoland's premier solar installer, providing solutions for over 1,000 homeowners and business owners across Illinois and Iowa.
With over a decade of industry experience and deep roots here in Chicago, we have the expertise to help your transition to clean, renewable, resilient energy.
We can guarantee that we save you money day one without any out-of-pocket cost to you. This means you have an instant ROI, instant payback, and can save money to add to your bottom line day one.
At Source Solar, we source everything as local as possible, meaning we always carry the Made in USA sticker.
Find us online at www.source.solar. Stop in our office at 5710 North Northwest Highway or give us a call at 773-985-3992.
And don't forget to ask for Hawk
or Pete.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our conversation here on WCPT 820 Heartland Signal, KKNW 1150 in Seattle, KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul. Hello to everyone tuning in digitally, Facebook, YouTube, and Monaco Brewing Company Substack. If you are joining us on one of our digital platforms, please consider subscribing and sharing with your family and friends so they can join our conversation as well. Joining me in studio is my Hump Day honey, Ken Mejia-Beal. He's the Midwest director, chair director. Director, let's do director. I've promoted you. That's how I do it in the show. Cool. The Midwest chair for the Victory Fund. Go to victoryfund.org. And he graciously invited, as my guest co-host, one of his responsibilities is to recommend good guests. And he's knocked it out of the park every single time. And I'm thrilled to welcome back to our show. We have the state representative for District 76 in Illinois, Representative Murri Briel, joins us on the air. And one of the things that we were just talking about before we came to the break, you were discussing the services for people with various needs, for autism, for ADHD, for ADD. And I was telling you off the air that my audience knows I have two beautiful boys. One who just finished grad school, he graduated from the University of Chicago. So I'm walking across that stage, and he's been the best big brother to Declan, who was born differently abled and will never live independently. It's what drew me into advocacy in the state of Illinois, and then eventually running for office and having a talk show. We are one of the worst states in the country anyway when it comes to services for people, especially as they age out of programs that are incredible. Early intervention, there's a wait list way too long for babies who need to reach their potential, and it's only going to get worse under this federal squeeze, I guess is the best way to put it. Off the air, you mentioned the Olmstead Act. I've just recently made a video about this, where the DOJ has said that it's not enforceable. Basically, the language of the ADA that was upheld previously by the Supreme Court, that people, to all the extent of our ability to help them stay supported in their communities and their homes, can now be institutionalized, presumably so people can continue to make money off of the number of beds they have in these facilities. So, did I sum that up okay?
Just nailed it. Like I'm so proud. I'm so glad that you are an advocate too, because a lot of people don't understand the impact. So what does that mean? You summed it up. Olmstead was the security that forced states to create spaces where people who are differently abled would be able to live and function. And the Department of Justice said, Olmstead, schmalmstead, we don't care about it anymore. Forget it. And they said, well, the interpretation that they not challenging it in the Supreme Court, but the interpretation that the Supreme Court had is not one that the states need to enforce. The states can do what they, quote, feel is reasonable to make accommodations, which means the states that don't prioritize individuals who are different will make decisions that nothing is actually necessary for those folks. And I think something we forget about, I think a lot of folks forget about history, but it was 100 years ago that if you were disabled and you were in public, you could be thrown in jail. Yeah. If you were disabled, you weren't allowed to be out of your home, or you had to be in an institution setting because it made people uncomfortable. It made polite society. It was a shame. And there's absolutely no reason to feel shame because you are different. It just means different, not less.
Exactly. And what the title of my series of videos I'll be making are it's Disabled, Not Disposable. And that's exactly it. I mean, and the other thing we talk about, a lot of folks use the word Nazism, and we talk about World War II and what were some of the things that happened.
Eugenics,
and it was transgender individuals and people with disabilities were ahead of that was who they targeted first.
Yep.
And I mean, I know people hate that we bring that up, but I mean, the fact that the DOJ went out of their way, we've been talking about bathrooms for over a decade. They have wanted to target populations in order to, one, demonize and other people, but also to give everyone a target to go, because I will tell you, when I put that video up, When I was going to Springfield under Rauner, when all the services were cut in 2015, and on the Good Friday massacre, I was in the press box for 2.5 years during the budget impasse, and people would message me. Like, one person thought, "Well, like I'm so tired of you complaining about services for your son." Now, I had Declan's services on lock. I was fighting for families who couldn't get to Springfield, and then one woman texted me saying, "I don't support abortion, but maybe you should have." And so when I put this post up yesterday, disabled, not disposable, someone said, "You know what? Maybe it is better for the community if we do." And I don't want to tell you what population that they specifically targeted as for who should be aborted. But this is where we're at. So I'm just saying, it's out. That energy is out there.
That is horrible.
And
that is atrocious and disgusting.
Yep.
Sorry.
Oh, no. Please, Ken, you're spot on.
I'm shocked right now. I should.
Yeah, well, and it's something that we face on a daily basis. I mean, disabled individuals can't develop any wealth. We have to depend on the system, and you're constantly threatening to take it out from under us and saying that we're not worth it, or we're not putting forth any effort, or we're a drain on resources. Yep. And these are all narratives that are not true. We are not a drain. In fact, some of the most brilliant people I know are differently abled. My whole office is spicy. I particularly find spicy people very enjoyable because I'm spicy too. So, that is one thing that we try to do. I have a neurodivergent council, and it meets every month. We meet the third Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. and we online too. You can join us from anywhere.
I would love to.
Oh, you should.
I would love to.
How do I join this?
All you got to do is just go to our website, and the link will be there, and you can join us on Zoom. Yeah. And we have an owl in the office in Ottawa for those folks who can be there. And we talk about things that face us as neurodivergent individuals, and not everybody experiences the same thing. That's just like no one who is disabled in the same way. We're not a monolith. No group is a monolith, but there are enough resources, and there should be enough dignity that we can all benefit by working together and coming together. And it's so terrifying. You mentioned your son and aging out. Registries, lists.
Oh my God.
Are terrifying. And there was a representative in Springfield who really wanted to create a registry for autism through the Secretary of State's office.
Who was it? Are they still in office? Are they still in office?
Yeah, they are. They certainly are.
You can tell me. It's supposed to be public.
Yeah, it's probably public. We could Google it. So just tell us.
You can tell me if you're not comfortable. It's fine. You don't want to put it.
Yeah.
We'll Google it.
But yeah, you can Google it and find out.
Yeah, I'm Googling it right now.
The bill was to be able to then have license plates with a B on it to identify that was a car that had a neurodivergency. And I'm like, that's not going to be a target. And the registry would pop up statewide and for any jurisdiction that someone in the vehicle may or may not have a communication issue. And there's already programs that exist called the Blue Envelope program.
Exactly.
I was so excited about that program and helped push it. But you had someone who is pushing this other narrative and trying to explain that a registry is not something that people who see through the BS very clearly, but have a hard time not being overrun by the BS.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not need a registry. They are not. Nobody wants it. Nobody in the community wanted it. This rep had people calling her, emailing her, and she totally ignored them.
Yeah. What's the name of the neurodivergent group that you have that folks meet every month online? And
just my neurodivergent council. And it's the third Saturday of every month, and it's from 10 to noon online. Or if you're in Ottawa, if you were loving Ottawa, you can come down and hang out. We got a great office, and it really gives a chance for people to talk about the issues and how they're feeling, and gives them space because we are scared. The Department of Education is being destroyed at the federal level, and they took all of the Title II funding, which supports our special education and special needs folks, out and moved it into Health and Human Services under the guy, RFK, who wants to have camps for people. all of this sound familiar, Patty?
Camps.
I'm
sorry, I guess there's some chain links, fences. Oh my God, Representative, this has been really delightful. I'm like, we need to go do a remote broadcast from. Do you have any plans to come through Chicago at all anytime soon?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Oh, I know we got to go, but I do want to say that I think you'll be excited about this bill that I got passed, and the governor is going to be signing it on Monday.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
An expansion of Sammy's Law. It's HB 4379, and that is a law that we started a couple of years ago, making the state highway put in rest areas adult changing stations.
Oh, I love it. Yes, please.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I know.
Yeah.
And we did it.
Do you know how happy? When we see an adult changing station, like the happiness, like just me and Lady B will tell you, it's one of the best things.
I got to tell you, and now it's for any public space or any space that houses 1,500 individuals or more and over 40,000 square feet has to put an adult changing station in an ADA accessible handicap bathroom. It doesn't hurt anybody.
No.
It doesn't do anything. And the governor's going to sign it on Monday, and I'm so incredibly excited about that.
Oh, I love it. I'm
a fighter, girl.
Thank you for the work that you do.
Well, you're going to hear more from me. Yeah. I have an idea for a regular series of conversations. Maybe, and there have been people that we've had on the show before. Like I'm sure you know Mike Baker, who's moving to Wisconsin, unfortunately, because he can't get the services he needs here. I know Mike is vigilant and aggressive and gets a lot of things done, and he's tired and he has to think about his future. We have to let you go because we've run out of time, but also there's a dog that wants to get into your rest of your house.
Yeah. There's a dog barking terribly right now, and I'm so sorry.
I can't hear it.
I can't hear him.
We can't hear the dog at all.
Sorry.
Not at all.
Oh, good.
Representative Murri, Briel,
thank you so much.
It's been great to have you on. And when you're in Chicago, but let's not. We don't have to wait that long. Whenever that is. I
would love to.
This is my new favorite person. I love you, Ken, but no, I'm sorry.
No, I agree. That's why I was like, we have to have her on.
You're fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you.
Have a great evening.
Soon.
I'm going to join. It's State Representative Murri Briel. You can find on Facebook.
Yes.
Briel, thank you so much. Let the poor dog in. Okay, more after this on WCPT. I know, but he wants to go more in or out. I don't know.
He wants to go out.
More after this on WCPT, KKNW, and KTNF. We're super late. We're only going to have like 3 minutes when we come back.
You're listening to WCPT 820. Here's the latest Chicago weather update.
I'm meteorologist Ray Miller from the Weatherology Weather Center. Clear skies tonight with a low temperature of 63 degrees and north winds at 5 to 10. Thursday, lots of sunshine with a high temperature of 77 degrees and southwest winds at 5 to 10. Friday, sunshine with a high temperature of 82. Saturday, sunny with a high temperature of 86 degrees. Sunday, slight chance of thunderstorms and a high temperature around 91 degrees. That's the latest Chicago weather update. Right now, it's 72.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
Instant Kohl's Cash is powerful. You spend $25 and earn $10 Kohl's Cash to use instantly on nearly everything store-wide. So now you're grabbing new shoes and nodding at your receipt like you negotiated the deal. Plus, Kohl's Rewards members earn 3 times rewards. Get instant Kohl's Cash this weekend at Kohl's. Offer valid July 23rd through 26th. Some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. Let their story unfold and gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. Hire skills first. Learn why at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
Here's
great news for those Chicagoans heading up to southern Wisconsin. Should you ever forget to load up on progressive brews from the local favorites like Rogers Park Provisions or Park West Liquor in Lincoln Park, Minocqua Brewing Company beer is now conveniently available at Dream Liquor and Cigar in Kenosha and in the Lake Geneva area at Delavan Liquor and Smoke in Delavan. If the great town of Madison, Wisconsin is your jam, please remember to swing into the Minocqua Brewing Company tap room at 2927 East Washington Avenue to grab some Resistance beer, pizza, t-shirts, and progressive camaraderie.
You're listening to Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Well, we only have a couple minutes before I turn this over to a pre-recorded interview that we did with a neighbor of our previous guest, Murri Briel.
It's French.
We have to go down. We've got to go down because we've got to go down to Bloomington-Normal area because there's so much fun stuff going on down there.
I will go anywhere with you. Let's go to Bloomington. Let's go to Ottawa. Let's go to Springfield. Let's go to Rockford.
We should just do a tour. So I want to do this Resist and Persist comedy tour. That's what my goal is. And so we'll have you, Dwayne Kennedy, Joe Kilgallen. Hal Sparks wants to do some of this in Chicago.
I would love to. Okay. I can be the opener.
Absolutely.
Because I'm the new guy.
You want to be my fluffer?
Yeah, I love to be your fluffer.
I think that's okay to say, right?
Wait, we had to run Hump Day Honey through the attraction, but yes, I could be a fluffer.
I know. I don't know if I should have run that past somebody. I'm not really sure.
I don't see Matt popping up, and the window's not opening. So
our interview is about the wonderful Pride event coming up this weekend.
Yes,
in Bloomington-Normal, and the Mamas there's a great drag queen event going on, a huge Pride Fest. So that information is coming up in a moment. Before we go, we are going to go hang out with Kirk Bankstead, who will be on the air tomorrow with us. We've got about a minute here before we turn it over to the pre-record. That's why I tell people, because you're not going to hear Ken. It'll make it seem like I didn't let him talk the whole time, and he's right here.
She always lets me talk.
I've been watching the series on. I'm behind, I know, but if have you watched His and Hers on Netflix?
No, it's on my watch list.
I mean,
it's on my watch list.
This is some.
I'm catching up on Paradise right now. It's on my watch list.
There's a whole picture of tea. Every episode feels like a big picture of tea. Like, what am I learning about these people? Like, it's crazy.
Okay, we'll talk.
Wild.
We'll talk about it tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I want to hear about it. It's on my watch list.
So, folks, I didn't get to tell the rep this, and if she's still tuning in, a listener said your guest is very informed. Most people don't know the whole idiot MAGA cult movement was kicked off by the Koch brothers. So that was something she was talking about as well. And then, what is the website to join the video? Go to Murri Briel's website. It's MurriBriel on Facebook, and you can learn more about the Neurodivergent Council. And I have to go because I got like 10 seconds. And the last text is when I was in the night, there were disappointment rooms in homes. A mom with cancer lived in one up the block from me. Disappointment rooms. Oh my God. So just a little bit what we're talking about, hiding people from the world. All right. The interview with Mama from Mama Lancaster up next.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT 820, where facts matter.
No detours, no distractions. Just bold ideas and real talk. This is Driving It Home with Patti Vasquez.
Thank you so much for joining us as we continue our drive home. I am so thrilled. First of all, I want to thank our friends who are tuning in on KTNF AM 950 Minneapolis, St. Paul, KKNW 1150 in Seattle. Of course, all of our friends tuning in digitally on Facebook, YouTube, and now Minocqua Brewing Company's Substack. Hello, friends. And of course, you might be listening digitally in the future on heartlandsignal.com's podcast list. So please make sure you're following us. And go to heartlandsignal.com. You'll catch the news stories that our incredible newsroom is catching, the stories that shape our democracy. One of the great things about working for WCPT is having the opportunity to travel around, whether it's throughout Illinois. Of course, we visit our friends in Wisconsin. And one of my favorite trips was at a barbecue I think it was it last summer that I got to meet the incredible folks that are putting together some of the Pride Fest events that you need to know about. And here's how Washington shows up on Main Street. This year, corporations got spooked. The administration came after diversity programs, came after trans folks, started dangling federal dollars like a threat. And all the companies that used to slap a rainbow on everything every June suddenly went quiet. Pride festivals went from everywhere from Pittsburgh to Tampa to New Jersey, started slashing their budgets, postponing, and some of them canceling outright. You know who holds the line? Our friends like our next guest. Not Fortune 500 boardrooms, a bar in Bloomington, Illinois. There's a place called the Bistro, and for more than 3 decades, it's been home. Its owner turned a block party into the biggest outdoor drag show in central Illinois, and this Saturday it happens again. Thousands strong, family-friendly, corporate cold feet can be damned. Thank you so much to Jan Lancaster. Everybody calls her Mama. Mama, welcome back, my friend.
Thank you. I'm so great to see you again. Thanks for having me back.
Of course. So last time we talked, the Bistro has been a landmark for quite some time. For folks who've never walked through your doors, and we absolutely invite them to, they should stop by. Tell us what a place like yours has been for the community of Bloomington-Normal all these years.
Well, I've been here almost 35 years, and to me, my goal has always been to educate, to offer a safe space for all. And I think we've pretty much accomplished that over the years. It's just been a great journey for me. It's been a learning experience, but we have had thousands and thousands through our door. And it's just been great to be here and be a part of that journey.
For the block party, take us back, because it's the 25th anniversary. Back in the 25th anniversary was in 2018.
Right.
So now it's over 4 blocks downtown and it draws thousands. When you started this, did you have any idea that your party would grow into a movement?
I really had no idea. I had been trying over the years to do a Pride Fest of some sort. And for my 25th year, I finally convinced the city to let me close our 1 block in front of my business. And we had a little rinky-dinky stage. And, I expected maybe 300 or 400 people. And that first year we had about 2,000 people, which was really packed in there. And this last few years, we've had between 10 and 15,000 people. What? We now surround the whole downtown area, and we have a large professional stage now and a second stage. It's just amazing. And we still put it together with about I had one of my bartenders help me the very first year, and he's been with me ever since. And I have about 3 other people on our committee, and that's who does it. That is it.
Wow. I really got to get down there. I've got to get down there. I don't want to miss this party this year.
We would love to have you.
Yeah, nobody should miss this party. And you guys you're a stop on Amtrak, right? People could
yes.
From Chicago. Okay, everybody. I know I've mentioned the road trip to Springfield. I want to go to Springfield for the women's professional baseball because they're starting soon.
Right.
I think our test project should be this Saturday. We don't need any planning. We get on a train and we go down to Bloomington-Normal and we hang out at this incredible event. Is there a moment over all these years that started to stand out for you, or even because now some of the kids that started as toddlers with their families are now adults. They've gone to college. They've come back, right?
Yes. I have kids coming from all over. Of course, I'm 74 now, so I have grandkids coming in. It's just amazing to me. Several years we've had people that have moved to New York, Chicago, whatever, and they've come back. This year I have a very good friend that is a filmmaker, and I happened to meet her when she was showing her film at one of the universities, and she's from Paris, and she's flying back just for this event this year. So, and I've had my friends from California come in. It's just a great event. And I'm thrilled to see everyone. Some of the little kids that I met our very first Pride Fest come back and introduce themselves every year. And that's what makes it so important for me, to see the families and just to see the growth. And so it's been a journey. I mean, we started, this little bitty bar, and, we started doing a lot of advocacy. And, one of our first projects was to get the Equal Rights Amendment passed in Bloomington-Normal. So we've been working steadily all these years.
Oh, Mama, it's both inspiring and kind of breaks my heart a little bit because the ERA still, and it died in Illinois, which is the craziest thing. Thankfully, I don't know if you know about Representative Stephen Anderson, who is a Republican that actually went around the country to get some of those states that you wouldn't expect, like Utah and West Virginia. Mm-hmm. So thank you for that legacy of work. Were you, as a kid, was your family politically minded? Like, where does this come from, Mama?
Well, I don't know. My mom, she a single parent. She was a social worker. We were raised to be caring people, whatever. But I honestly never expected my life to take this turn. I was working a regular 9-to-5 job, and this just happened to come up, and I said, I don't know anything about running a bar. And anyway, it worked out, and here we are all these years later. And I when I started, I just did the bar like I did my parties at home. It was just like, oh, hey, come on in. This is like home to me. And so I think people realized right away that, I was kind of a person that was just naturally wanted to help people, and it just evolved, and I'm amazed by it every day that we've come this far, and that when I moved downtown, they didn't kind of want us here, but I knew that in order for it to succeed, I needed to get involved in the downtown politics. So I right away got on all these committees, and I've done a lot of downtown work. I've been president of the downtown many times. And so I think that helped people realize that, I'm here to stay. So, I'm a force, I think.
Yeah. Well, I know our friend Patrick Cortese, who is a committeeman down there, and I believe now I can't remember the races he's won, but the work that they do. Yes, I love the work that they do and the community that you all have. I get the feeling, because I would not have guessed that you were 70. Did you say 70? Did you say 74?
I'm 74.
I wouldn't. Does this keep you young?
I don't know.
Feels like it does.
My problem is that you want I'll call it my baby. You want this to continue in some way, and it's very hard. I've had some people offer to buy it a couple times, but I felt I just had a little twinge that maybe they weren't the right people, and I really want it to continue in some way. I know that it will be completely different when I'm not here, but still, the community needs a safe space like this. That can offer education. We've done a lot with the trans community now, and we have a great gender aphoria meetings once a month especially for the trans community and allies. And, to see a group of people come in the bar and say, I've never been in a place where there's more than one person like me. And if that doesn't break your heart and want you to keep going, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I hear that, especially with the atmosphere. And I don't want to spend too much in the negativity, because everything that you're doing is so bright and positive, and we know about all the negative noise. Unless you want to tell us a little bit about what's going on in the community, what kind of changes have you seen in the last? We know for over 15 years there's been this drumbeat about bathrooms and women's sports. And by the way, they didn't give a crap about women's sports until they could scare people and manipulate them with these kinds of stories, right?
Yeah. Right. I'm telling you, all I can say is please investigate, find out what your candidates are going to offer and vote. It does make a difference. And as you know, we just need to get him out of office. I won't even say his name. We need to get him out of office. But the thing to always remember, and I always tell my patrons here, is that we don't stop. We're going to keep moving, and we get pushed back. But the days of just sitting back and hoping that things are going to change, that's not working. We need to band together and keep moving. And that's what we do. And and for me to think, when I was younger, people were trying to get out of Illinois. Now they're trying to come in because of some of the advantages for equal rights and diversity that we have in Illinois. So it's crazy, but you cannot give up. You just have to keep moving and being involved in your community. Vote.
Yes, I agree. And the visibility is so important. The centerpiece of this event is the largest outdoor drag show in Central Illinois. It's family friendly, and there is a lot of ugly noise directed at it. Why? Tell us about keeping it out in the open, in the daylight, and why that matters to you downtown.
Well, I think it's very important that we continue this. I set this out to be a family event, and we have huge amount of family here. And also we reached out to a lot of the non-for-profits so that there would be educational material here. And though we do have a big drag show towards the end of the evening, early on we have tons of different events, family events that help the community. And it's just a coming together. I over the years, you never get thick skin on things about people, giving you death threats or sending you, all of this information. But, you have to learn to just move forward. And most of them are just big talkers and just ignore them. But, it's kind of hard to take it sometimes, but I know that this is important, and everybody that's involved in this event is dedicated to making it happen and to continue the education, the equality, the diversity, family. So you just can't give up.
Absolutely. And you not only can you not give up, I mean, there is something to be said when thousands of people fill up downtown Bloomington on Saturday. Tell us a little bit about what that turnout in Central Illinois means in comparison to like what the country might not expect that. People don't expect that from Central Illinois, do they?
I didn't expect it. I have been shocked. I mean, each year we got to expand a little, a few blocks longer, but I never expected this event to be this big. And I'll tell you, my neighbors on the street, a lot of the businesses are flying pride flags in their windows. They're very supportive of this event. And I think that's what I found. And, we, in Illinois alone, we have all these little cities that you wouldn't think would have pride events, and they're able to now have pride events in a lot of these little towns. And I think it's just great. Of course, we're not making everyone happy. There is people that, don't want this to happen. And I try not to read the blogs. We have so much support from our sponsors, and they get a lot of flack when they get, the Panagraph, our local newspaper, they give us a lot of support, and their blog is filled with people that, are against everything that we're trying to do. But, I always tell people, come and talk to me. Maybe I can kind of change your mind a little bit. I don't know.
Soften their hearts is the best we can, that's
yes.
At the very least, soften your heart. Of course, now we are so thrilled that the Bistro Pridefest after party will also be carrying Minocqua Brewing Company beers like the Resistance Pilsner, Love Wins Fruited Sour, Fascist Tears, which is one of my favorites, the West Coast IPA, and it is and always will be the Gulf of Mexico Mexican Lager. Tell us about the after party and what people can expect at the Bistro.
Well, the after party out on the street, the last event on the street is our big drag event, and it starts about 8 and goes to 10 or 10:30, and then we kind of regroup. And my bar isn't that big, so to get a ticket inside is kind of a big deal. And so we start setting tickets aside for people, and it's kind of it's a great event. All of the drag queens can kind of let loose at the after show. Obviously, it's 21 and over, and we just have a great time. And we have such a great lineup. One of my favorite people from all times that used to perform in my bar 30 years ago moved to New Orleans around the time Katrina happened, and I've been trying to get her to come back for years and years, and she is coming back to perform, and she hasn't performed in years. So it's going to be either really great. No, it's going to be wonderful, but to see it's kind of like everybody comes home, because a lot of the performers in this area got their first chances on our stage years ago. So it's great to bring them all back in, and it's just a lot of fun. We just kind of come in and relax after a long day, and we actually get to sit down and have a cocktail or two. So it's great. The after show is always a good time. It's a lot of work, but we just keep plowing along.
Well, folks, make sure you're following the Bistro on Facebook. You just search for the Bistro. You'll see it come up right away. You get more information about the Bloomington-Normal Pridefest happening this weekend. We're so excited to have had a chance to catch up with you, and I'm going to do everything I can to get on that train. I have a show on Saturday morning, so and then I have a farmer's market on Sunday morning, so I'm trying to figure out how to make it all work.
Yeah,
Mama.
well... We'll make it a party whenever you get down here.
Outstanding. I love it so much. Everybody, this weekend, this Saturday, make sure Bloomington-Normal Pride Fest, Saturday, July 25th from 4 to 10 p.m. That's right, from 4 o'clock.
That's correct.
I got time to get down there, and I got time to get back. At downtown Bloomington and North Main Street, family-friendly, free, the biggest outdoor drag show in Central Illinois. If you're anywhere listening right now, get on the train.
Come and see me.
Come and see Mama.
That's right.
And see you at the after party. Thank you so much, Mama. It was great talking to you.
Thank you. We'll see you soon. Bye.
See you soon. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Have a great night. Love you, Lady B and Paul Shabari, because you never know, right? We got to love Paul Shabari, too, everybody. Talk to you later.
Daisy was abandoned by her family and placed in foster care at 15 years old. Her life was full of uncertainty. She thought she'd never have a permanent place to call home.
Before I was adopted, I felt like I wasn't enough. I had this hole in my heart, and I never knew what I needed to patch that hole. But when my mom asked to adopt me, that hole was closed. It feels so normal now to say that I'm a part of this family. I am surrounded by love. I feel safe. And that hole inside of me is gone. I am whole. I'm finally enough just as I am.
The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is changing the lives of teenagers at risk of aging out of foster care. Like Daisy, every child deserves a permanent, loving home. You can help. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Saving money on your next project now at Menards. Menards is the leading supplier of quality roof and floor trusses. Choose from our large selection of residential and post-frame trusses or design custom trusses specifically for your project. Get started on your building project today, in-store or on Menards.com. Plus, view our weekly flyer for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
AP News, I'm Ben Thomas. House Republicans have passed a $95 billion budget proposal. The vote was 216 to 214, with 2 Republicans and 1 independent joining Democrats in opposition. House Speaker Mike Johnson says there's a lot in it.
House Republicans passed the Clean CR to keep the government funded responsibly, the Stop Insider Trading Act that bans lawmakers from trading and buying individual stocks and from abusing their office for financial gain, the NDAA to provide a much-needed pay raise for our troops and to rebuild the arsenal of freedom, and the budget resolution that unlocks our 3rd reconciliation bill, which of course is Republicans' best shot to get as much of the Save America Act into law as possible, in addition to funding our national defense and our farmers.
President Trump paid his respects to the 4 U.S. service members most recently killed in the Middle East as they were returned to their families at an Air Force base in Delaware today. Trump telling reporters beforehand,
all I'm going to say is we love you, we love your child, and that's what they are to them. They're their children. There's no games, no nothing. That's their child. And all you can do is throw out your heart.
Meanwhile, John Gambrell reports the U.S. and Saudi Arabia have signed a new nuclear agreement.
Saudi Arabia for years has been trying to get the Americans to agree to help them expand their nuclear program. That's raised some concerns because the Saudis have said that they wanted to enrich uranium. This is exactly how you would potentially make a nuclear weapon, by enriching uranium up to weapons-grade levels and then building a bomb. Now, Saudi Arabia is insisting its plans are peaceful, but we have heard from their assertive crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, that the kingdom would be willing to seek a nuclear weapon should Iran choose to build a bomb.
And Tropical Storm Bertha has made landfall on the southern tip of Louisiana. The National Hurricane Center warns that storm surge of up to 3 feet is possible. This is AP News. Author Charles Gaines has died. Ed Donahue has a look at his career.
He popularized the world of bodybuilding. Gaines collaborated with George Butler in 1974 to write Pumping Iron, the art and sport of bodybuilding. It was made into a documentary.
Can I sign up here? I want to start gaining some muscles.
Pumping Iron introduced the world to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You look in the mirror and just say, okay, I need a little bit more deltoids. So what you do is you exercise and put those deltoids on. Whereas an artist would just slap on some clay on each side, and this is maybe the easier way. We go through the harder way.
Gaines says Schwarzenegger almost single-handedly brought bodybuilding out of the shadows. Gaines wrote other books, including Stay Hungry, which ended up giving Arnold Schwarzenegger his first movie role. Charles Gaines was 84. I'm Ed Donahue.
There's more news and the latest developments at apnews.com. I'm Ben Thomas. Thanks for listening.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
The Ben Joravsky Show.
The president, he was rooting for the Spurs because it was the reason they got him out of the war.
Wait, what? Well, I forgot the logic.
You lost me. Spurs.
Yeah. A joke. I get it. That's a good one, man. I'm going to steal and pretend like you never said it.
The Ben Joravsky Show, Saturdays at 5. This is a WCPT Veteran Minute. In 1939, when Europe was on the brink of war, a single mother was bringing Jewish refugees into her home, teaching her 2 daughters to help others when you can and fight injustice. Freddie and Tross Alferstegen took their mother's advice to heart, joining their mother in distributing anti-Nazi newspapers and pamphlets for the resistance, a dangerous act when the Nazis invaded the Netherlands. But with the girls being young, Freddie being only 14 and Tross being only 16, Nazis were less likely to suspect them to be working for the resistance. This is most likely why in 1941, a commander of the Haarlem resistance group to ask their mother if he could recruit Freddie and Tross. Their mother and the girls agreed and were given basic training, and within 2 years the girls were bringing Jewish refugees into hiding, working in emergency hospitals, sabotaging bridges and railway lines, and killing Nazis, sometimes ambushing them from their bicycles. Despite the Netherlands not wanting to acknowledge the girls' achievements, their contributions to helping the Allied powers will never be unnoticed.
Today alone, 5,370 people in the United States will be diagnosed with cancer. That's why Stand Up to Cancer funds and develops the newest and most promising cancer treatments. Stand Up to Cancer wants to provide you with every opportunity to join in this mission. By donating your home, land, or commercial property, you can help Stand Up to Cancer fund innovative cancer research. Stand Up to Cancer makes the process easy, and it may be tax deductible. Visit standuptocancer.org/giveproperty to learn more.
A message from Tia Murri, actress and Fair Celebrity Ambassador.
Game day isn't staged, it's lived. It's the shopping, the cooking, the laughter. For families managing food allergy, preparation means everything. It's knowing the signs, having a plan, and carrying epinephrine everywhere life takes you. Because readiness doesn't take away the risk, it brings back the joy. When you're ready to act, you're ready to live.
Visit foodallergy.org/ready to act to learn more.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
Welcome to the bar. It's political. Step up to the bar. Thinking critical. Don't think at the bar, whoever you are, the politics bar. With Sean Smith, Pierce, and Jody Hamilton.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, Sean.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is?
Hump day.
It is. It's hump day. It's Wednesday. I still like that. I don't care how many times we say it. It's still fun to me. It's just one of those things. It's a fun thing to say, and especially when you're dealing with the kind of half-fascism. Did you know that Hunter Biden called out the half-fascism? I think I've got that clip somewhere around here, too. Also, speaking of half-fascists and idiots, Keg Breath was on the Hill making an ass of himself. We talked about it last night. We've got the clips today just to prove it, because, there was some editing done on some places. You hadn't heard some of the full stuff. God, he's such a moron.
That's the nicest thing you can say about him.
Well, I mean, we are on the radio on a lot of great stations, by the way. We don't want to, break their licenses or any of that stuff. Thank you, by the way, if you are listening on stations like Georgia Now Radio in the greater Georgia area, or WCPT AM 820 in Chicago. Maybe you're listening on the Detour Talk in Tennessee, or AM 950 in Minneapolis, St. Paul,